Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today I'll be talking about the tasks feature in Block City Wars 2.0, how it works, how the reward system works, how the respect system works, and how to do the individual tasks. To start off, I'll talk about the task tiers and how the tasks refresh and how they work. To start off with, when you start the game, you'll have tier 1, at which point you'll have 20 gold as a reward for completing the daily tasks. You'll get 6 daily tasks daily, and they'll refresh whenever you either fill the respect bar to get the reward, or when the timer resets. As you go through the tiers, your increase in gold will always increase by 20 until you hit tier 9, at which you'll get 200 gold, and at tier 10, you'll get 10k cash instead of gold. At least this 10k cash is infinitely repeatable. To start off, I'll talk about the vehicle challenges, since I think these are the easiest. To start off, there's a challenge to just drive the car. Then there's the challenge to drive a car with passengers inside of it, in which case you can just drive on a straight road and then just change the seat, in which case the game will register it as you driving with a passenger. This is easily done with a Knight Rider, for example. And there are the challenges that need you to ever run over people or deal damage with your vehicle. This can either be with having to kill people, having to bump into them, or having to just ram other cars. Sometimes these tasks require you to use a specific vehicle, like for example Hound or Clunk Rider or Dusty Sanders. Why Cubic decided to make the worst vehicles the ones prerequisite for these challenges, we'll never know. I guess they just want us to suffer. But the thing is that most people don't understand is that if you don't have any of these prerequisites, like for example kill players with Hounds or kill players with Clunk Rider or deal damage with Clunk Rider, deal 500 damage with Clunk Rider, you can just take any vehicle and kill anyone with it. So you could very well just take a Titan, for example, shoot someone in the face, make the one tap, and then just run them over, and it will count towards the task. Another thing people get caught up on is when a challenge requires you to deal damage with a vehicle. They think that you have to kill people who are driving that vehicle, like for example deal 500 damage using Hound. That's not you having to deal damage to people who are driving Hound. You have to drive Hound and run people over with it. Also, when a challenge requires you to bump into players, you don't have to necessarily kill them, you just have to drive into them. So if you want to make your life easier and have a shitty vehicle, you can't just run over the same person over and over again. Let's move on to the gun challenges. And the first challenge I'd like to touch on is deal damage with special weapons. This can be either the grenade launchers, the rocket launchers, the prototype, or the flamethrower. The most likely challenge you'll get is either deal damage with specials or kill 18 people with Firestorm in 5 minutes. Now that I went over the specials, I'd like to talk about the primary and sidearm gun challenges. If the game requires you to kill people in cars or blow up cars, use machine guns. If the game requires you to get headshots at close range or without a scope, use assault rifles and submachine guns. If the game requires you to get headshots with shotguns, use shotguns and get as close to your target as possible, and I'm talking about hugging distance, like really close, and shoot them in the head. This is the only way I found to get headshots with shotguns reliably. If the game requires you to get headshots or damage at long range, use snipers. I'd also like to talk about shurikens, since some of the challenges in this game require to use the shurikens, and the shurikens are weak as fuck. So the easiest way I found to get shuriken killed is to shoot people until they're low HP and then just use the shuriken. If you get the challenge to kill 6 people with shurikens without dying, what I recommend you to do is to get 5 kills with shurikens, preferably without dying, otherwise you fail the challenge, and then when you get the 5th kill, just watch an ad for the last kill. I'd also like to elaborate that this challenge right here that I'm highlighting, the Dusty Sanders challenge, is bugged. and impossible. So the only way to get this done is with watching ads. This is for the people that try to do this and waste their time with it. It is not possible. Don't try it. And that's all I wanted to touch on. I hope this will help some people with completing the task on this game, especially because some of the tasks are not well explained. To be honest, I really had no motivation to make this video today because I have a serious headache, but I still did it for you guys. So I hope you liked this video, and with having said that, I'll see you in the next video.